I think this was the reason that we wrote this story. Where did it come from? We had a hard task at hand, which is that when we heard about Together LA Festival, one of our board members, sort of the main group, Faith is one of them, but one of the people that we elect to sort of run Theater of Note, said, why don't we do a bit of an exquisite corpse project deal where everybody writes something and then other people write things following that, but you only get a bit of it. And then we were like, oh, that's going to be a little bit hard. Why don't instead we have as many members as who would like to participate send in an original line or two or three, and then we'll write something based on those lines. Hi, everyone. My name is Mara Shuster-Lefkowitz, and this is
Faith Imafidon.
And we are the playwrights of the Theater Zone. If you'd like to know more about our play, please take a watch of this video here. So we were given dozens of lines. I think it was upwards of 60 sentences. And the goal was to try and incorporate them into a scene. But we had lines from all walks of life. We had, this portion of my diatribe is brought to you by the Teletubbies. And then we had a line about, mental illness isn't equated to, a casserole dish disease. And, arms shot up and fists. And so they were of all walks of life. So we really set ourselves up for
a challenge.
A challenge, yes, to say the least. And Faith and I really just, I think the idea came to me early on that like we should do something vignette-y so that we can have individual scenes with a through line. And Faith and I were talking about the new Twilight Zone and Jordan Peele, what he's done, and Monkey Paw Productions. And we knew it was going to be hard and that this was a Zoom play, not just, a theatrical piece on stage. So we wrote this maliciously intended play about a villainous host who is following an actress stuck cycling through the life of her characters. And we see 3 different scenes of her, which Faith played phenomenally. I'm really excited for everyone to see. And we just wrote and edited, and it was totally collaborative and really difficult. And I'm very proud of what we wrote. I feel like it could have gone on and on, but we came up with something good.
I really want to tip my hat off to Mara because she really helped steer that ship. And our director, Sam Squeri, she was really fundamental in helping us streamline it some more and offer questions to help us take it further. And even the company, by them reading the play and hearing it out loud, we got to continue to tinker with it. But it was a lot of fun to do. It was the writing challenge that you dream about, all of the things. It was all of the things, but it was a lot of fun to do. And the company was just so supportive and helping us make it happen.
And they gave us the freedom. I mean, I think that's so important. That again, they believed in us so wholeheartedly. They said, Faith, Mara, Sam, do what you want, figure it out. We'll take a read sometime early on and then just, keep it on. So feel really thankful for that.
In terms of writing it and then performing it, when we were on our feet and reading it and doing the rehearsals, some new ideas in terms of direction, things that I had never thought about infusing in it as I was writing it came out in the performance of it. So that was exciting. And even just hearing the other actors read the piece, took it in a very different direction. And you're like, oh, wow. I never thought about it that way. So it opened up a lot of creative doors that may have not necessarily been there when we were sitting down and writing it together. And even getting to perform like the scenes that Mara wrote or I wrote, like it was very satisfying to do. And also there was like a moment where like we were rehearsing or we were reading out loud and Mara was like, hey, you know what, I heard this, but I want to change this. So I'm going to pare down this line because I just feel like you get a better flow. So it was nice that even as we were acting it, the writer was still like in our brains, like lurking in the back to, to work hand in hand with it.
Which can be really dangerous, but we we did it really well, I think. It was a really awesome experience. And and then you're doing what you have, this green screen behind you and nobody's actually present and there's time delays and there's all this technical work that you're having to play around. So brings in an element of film work. So it was really using the best of our ability as thespians and playwrights and screenwriters and figuring out how that works and playing to nobody for a while and trying to make sure that Faith had a really hard job because she had to play to multiple characters, but as entirely as one being. It was, so there's a lot in this story that we wrote, but no, I think it was really nice getting to be playwrights and actors. What do we want the audience to get out of this play? I think there's a lot one can get out of this, but I would say some conversations that Faith and Sam and I, our producing team early on, was really about the situation that we are currently in, quarantine, COVID, and about the severity of being alone or being stuck in one situation and how individuals work through it. Not to mention that while all this is going on, there've been really integral protests going on around our country about Black Lives Matter and police brutality. And how do we take our current situation and wrap it into this sci-fi theatrical piece? It was difficult. I think there's a lot one can take from it, but I would say one that comes to mind for me is the nuanced idea that when you're stuck in a rut, it's hard to find like a little bit of like a life raft. And our main character that Faith plays, she keeps coming to a bit of a realization and being told she's wrong or that it's not there. And you can have your own perspective on what that means and how one gets through it. But I think that inevitably the feeling is you need to be able to trust your gut. So there's a lot there, but I think that all of those ideas together, really, we're leaving it open-ended for viewers to have their own feelings on some of these bigger questions.
I think that was really beautifully said. What I want people to take away from this play is that we're all going through our own iterations of feeling trapped and powerless. And I think it's important, despite those feelings, to continue to fight in any way that you can. It might be big, it might be small. But I think I would like people to take away that it's important to still fight in whatever manner that you can, because it does mean something. They must watch because it's damn good.
Tell it.
No, Theater of Note, we have a delicious, wonderful company. We are 38 years old. We have one of the largest casts in the festival. So I just think it's a lot of great artists coming together. It's a great idea. Some wonderful visuals in our show. I think there's a great message in there. And I just think it's fun. It's out there. It's different. And definitely a great Friday night in.
Totally. And if you're not, we don't usually get the sci-fi Black Mirror, Twilight Zone, Monkey Paw Productions type of theater. So let this sort of be your sci-fi thrilling theater experience, if anything. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Faith Imafidon, and
I'm Mara Shuster-Lefkowitz.
we are the playwrights of the Theater Zone. We are so excited about the play, and we hope that if you enjoyed our talk, that you will join us on Friday, October 16th at 7 p.m. for the airing of the Theater Zone with the other fabulous intimate theaters that evening.